Advice is never simple. Why look before you leap? If he who hesitates is lost. Live within your means is sage advice. But then, why are we encouraged to go big or go home? The value of advice is bound to your unique dreams and circumstances. Context isn't just king, it's the entire kingdom, son.
Welcome to episode 14 of the Elevate Water Polo Show on 216, brought to you by SuperSport Schools and our generous sponsors, Odin and Momentum. Back to school, great to be back with you. I'm sure many of you feel like you've had a long time already at your pre-season camps. I know many of them were going on around the country last week, and I hope for the coaches, the players and the parents, I hope you had a really great week of getting back into the swing of water polo. We are really looking forward to covering all your efforts as we go forward into the Term 1 season. So good luck, back to school. First round of fixtures start this weekend. We've got the Bishops Tournament down in Cape Town, which is always one to look forward to. We're going to try and get Jabulani Sabia, head coach, and Lwazi Madi to give us their insights on that tournament, what they're looking for, who's invited, etc. And we're also going to try and get Devon Card, who's at Sachs, because the night series, which is probably one of the most exciting schoolboy water polo events of the year. It's been going for about 5 or 6 years now. Such an exciting event, probably longer. It's probably been going 12 or 13 years now. Such an exciting event. It gets the kids really excited. The scholars come down and support their teams in the evenings, and it really gets that first Term 1 vibe going, and the teams play out. So we're going to look forward to chatting to those coaches for those tournaments, but many other great derbies coming up around the country. We've got KZN, we've got Gauteng, we've got Eden, we've got Buffalo City, East London, we've got Gqeberha, we've got so much good water polo to cover, and we look forward to seeing those scores and seeing those results start to come in as the water polo season takes its first step into Term 1.
How's guys? Devon Card, coach of the Sachs first team water polo side. Obviously, as you know, the Sachs night series is coming up next week. Thoroughly looking forward to it. A tournament that honestly was started as just a pre-season friendlies for the Western Cape teams to get fit for KES has turned into probably the most well-supported water polo series in the country. And I think, without a doubt, what makes it so special is the crowds that come out to support them. To see the boys pack the stadium out, the vibe, the cheers is quite something to behold. And hopefully Sachs is going to be bringing the series home. It's been a while.
Hello everyone, it's Jabulani Sabia here from Bishops, and we are extremely excited to have all the teams at our Bishops Water Polo Tournament. This tournament was started in celebrations of our 175th birthday, and even though we're not 175 anymore, it's given us the opportunity to have a tournament that's in the beginning of the year that has teams from all over Cape Town, but most importantly, this is the first time where we are receiving a team all the way from New Zealand. So we're really excited to have Hamilton down at Bishops for our water polo tournament. We're very excited to have the teams from all over Cape Town back into Bishops. And we are looking forward to have this tournament run for many years to come. Not only this year, Bishops has built a new pool, a new water polo pool that is at the center of our school, and a new water polo pool that's going to kick off this tournament in a really exciting way. There's some prizes, there's some classic but very exciting tournament merch for some of the athletes and the coaches, foods, family, refreshments, and we're really excited to have this one this year.
So great to hear from those coaches, great to see water polo up and running, and we look forward to seeing you again after a very short break. Welcome back to Elevate Water Polo on 216, brought to you by SuperSport Schools. So last week we took a trip down to KZN. We wanted to find out what's cooking in Durban and surrounds, and we interviewed a lot of coaches from different schools, and we asked them what they're excited about in this term 1 of 2026. I'm here with Cameron Reid. He's the head of water polo at St Anne's College in the Midlands. Cam, great to have you at the camp. Thank you for what you've been doing on pool deck. I've loved the way you're collaborating with David, the Spanish coach. Have you enjoyed it?
It's been a pleasure. Yeah. Thanks for having me. I think it's a great experience. I think we mentioned it quite early about how, as players, we're always learning, but as coaches specifically, we can never have too much information in your toolbox to use throughout your seasons and things like that. So it's been a great experience. Loving it.
Awesome. And what specifically have you noticed that's different about David's and the Buper kind of methodology?
I think the positive thing for us is that I think in South Africa we're conveying a similar type of message to what he's conveying. I think he's very pedantic about the smaller, finer details, which is great. I think early, for most coaches, we'll skip some steps, try and jump ahead to try and add more skills to our toolbox instead of working on the skills that we already have to become more effective. So it's quite refreshing to see him, focusing on those smaller details and making sure that people are getting it right early, especially at the fundamental stage for our juniors. It's crucial.
Yeah, I agree. I was talking to him a few minutes ago, and he was saying that the individual stuff is probably skipped over too much in favour of doing team tactics. How does running the St Anne's program, how do you manage that? Because you've got obviously a lot of girls, pool time is limited. How are you going to find the balance going forward?
Yeah, I think it's great. I think it's managing a program in general. I think when you get that conveyor belt coming through with good kids at a junior age group, being coached maybe the fundamentals at a high level, and that filtering through as they go through the grades and the years to when they get to a senior level, and then adding in a tactical aspect, I think that's the most important thing. And I think getting that program running is a key word. Not focusing on the individual itself, but as a team, and then within that team focusing on the individual skills makes the biggest difference when they get into their older age groups and more senior players, I feel.
Awesome. And tell us about St Anne's specifically. How did you feel about the program? Are you guys kind of seeing a kind of consistency through the age groups, or have you got some that you need to work a little bit harder on?
I think there's always space to improve. I think you're never happy as a coach, no matter what your results are looking like, but I'm extremely excited. I think the season ahead for us is going to be hopefully a good one. The kids are working really, really hard, attending the Elevate camps and doing extra coaching on the side. Even on their holidays, I'm hearing stories of the kids, in Plett and things like that, doing extra swim sets, which is obviously rewarding as a coach. But for myself, I'm really looking forward to the season. I think last year for us was my first year as a person in charge of the program, and it was a successful season for us. But we're really targeting this year as being one to try and strike. At the end of last year, some really good results. We finished second at the St Stithians tournament as a stayers team, only losing to the finalists, Saints. But it was an incredible performance, and the team's looking extremely strong. So looking forward to what the season has for us, and I can't wait to actually get back and get things started.
Nice one. So tell us, what does January, February and March look like for St Anne's?
So the biggest one, we've got a Brian Baker that starts in Grahamstown, which will be the biggest tournament for us early on in the season. The kids will arrive on Saturday. We'll start our pre-season camp, but like I said, most of the kids have been training. After the Brian Baker tournament, we'll try and peak towards St Peter's. That'll be over our half term, and then our season pretty much dies and ends after that. And the kids go into hockey season, play some other sports. But I'm really looking to try and target that Brian Baker, and then of course carry that momentum through to St Peter's and finish the first half of our season quite strong.
Well, awesome. You had a great 2025. Let's hope 2026 is as good, even better.
I'm looking forward to it. It should be a good one.
Awesome. So we're here with Graham Lucas Bull, very well known to South African water polo, been on many, many tours coaching national teams and age group level. Graham, great to have you here. How are you enjoying the camp?
Yeah, thanks, Dunks. It's fantastic. It's I think intense for the boys coming off December break. But really, really excited to be here, learning as a coach, learning how important fundamentals are, and how important discipline in the water is, and those minor details and the 1%ers are really important, which is really cool. And I think it's a really good start for our year, and a collaboration with Elevate Water Polo and my class going forward. Yeah.
Excellent. So my class water polo, really exciting new era for you. You've obviously been to St Stithians, Redham, St Andrews. You've travelled around the country. What is this chapter of your life, your coaching life? What did you like it to look like at my class?
I think for me, it's actually not about me really. It's about our players. It's about a program where we can instill a passion and love for the game that hopefully these boys go on to play after school. Because I think in the past, and I'm the first to say that I often made it about myself, but it's really important that these guys can go on after school, get involved in the universities, maybe get involved overseas and in clubs, and continue to play water polo and really enjoy the sport, because it's a fantastic sport and it's a lifelong sport, not like the other sports that these guys have to play that injuries stop them playing.
Yes. Yeah. Excellent. And obviously unique circumstances to build a program in. We were talking last night about everyone's a boarder. You've got very strict times that you're allowed to work with them. Seasonal sports kind of need to manage each other and collaborate quite well. What's the bright side of the moon? What are the exciting things about that, and what are the challenges?
I think the real sort of focus at my class is that we're not a water polo school or a hockey school or a rugby school or a cricket school. We're an education institution, and our focus is boys' education and boarding school in particular. And so it's really important that we collaborate together, because at the end of the day we want multi-talented sportsmen that can perform on the stage, perform academically in the classroom, and so we have to bounce and box smart with the time we have. Believe it or not, even though we're a boarding school, we have them 365 virtually. Time flies. So it's really about working together. We've got a fantastic sports department, a fantastic extramural department, and we all just box together, and we have specific slots for those boys. So we are about the whole student and the individual itself, and through a really fantastic sports offering across the board. And water polo, I think, is really going to kick on with your help at Elevate and that, and it's just an exciting place to work. It's a fantastic environment for young men to grow and just explore different experiences.
Wonderful. Well, we wish you great luck. We're looking forward to working with you, and all the viewers, watch out for Michaelos Water Polo. Here they come. So we're back poolside. We've got Matthew Bedison from Fatima. We loved seeing the great results that some of your age groups had last year. We featured them on the show, and we wanted to chat to the man himself. Tell us about Fatima Water Polo.
Thanks so much for having me, Duncan. So we just started as a brand new program, 2 years into the program. Fatima didn't have water polo before. We managed to get some good intake into the school, into the under-14 program last year. And under-14s are kind of pioneering the program going forward. So we had an epic win that we won the KZN Top Schools under-14 for the first time, and then won the Rodine under-14 tournament last year. And our seniors are also improving nicely. So just trying to build a program there and kind of make a name for Fatima on the national stage.
So, I mean, that's amazing what you just said there. 2 years ago, started the program and you're winning tournaments already. I mean, that must feel really good.
Yeah, definitely. Also been a bit of a hard transition for myself. Before that, I'd only coached under 13 level, and so it's also nice to transition into the high school program. So yeah.
Amazing, well done. And how have you enjoyed the Elevate and Buper camp?
Oh, I've loved it. So learn from David, yourself, Cam, I've worked alongside with before. Just to soak in and learn, and then also translate those skills into the kids as well. Been epic, so yeah, love it.
Excellent. Tell us what the next few months looks like for Fatima.
Next few months, end of Jan, we go to National Aquatics with the first team, and then about a month later, 18th of Feb, we go through to Crawfordonia on 15 tournament, so with that same under 14 group. Look to do well there, and then we're off. Then we'll start our pre-season second term for our main season in term 3.
Excellent. Well, you're doing great things. Keep it up. We are all behind you.
Thanks so much.
Good luck.
Cool.
We are here at Clifton Aquatic Centre with a very good friend of mine, ex-teammate of mine, Pierre Leroux. Great to see you back on SA Shores. Obviously, it's been a year already, but you're doing great things here at Clifton, and so good to see what you guys are doing. So tell us about what have you organised for today?
How's it, Dunks? It is nice to see you. Fantastic. We've got a long history, actually, many years of playing together. We actually got a team from New Zealand here. They've been staying with us, and we've been hosting them, doing a training camp with them, getting ready for the pre-season, engaging all the local schools as well. So big trainings in the morning and then some games in the afternoon. I think something that KZN desperately needs to catch up to the other provinces. So when the school season starts, we all are on an even playing field.
Excellent. And I was watching for a bit, and I really love the format, just kind of scrimmage games, no scores, not kind of taking counts, just playing, letting the guys find their groove. Is that what you're looking for?
Well, absolutely, Dunks. There's playing time is invaluable. Game time is invaluable, and what you find sometimes in a 4-quarter game, you don't always have the luxury of playing big minutes for all the players. So playing like this, everyone gets a lot of water time. You play till absolute exhaustion, and when the guys are shattered, like you saw at the end, then you can call it, and you can try different defenses, different offenses. You can try different variations, different combinations, which is so important at the start of the season as you're trying to figure out the first team dynamics. So today was massive, I think, for both teams to get that kind of a quality playing time in.
Excellent. And you've been back at Clifton for a year. What changes have you made? What changes are you still making? Like, what's the future of Clifton Water Polo look like under Pierre Leroux?
So I'm very much a culture kind of guy. I'm trying to take my playing days and experience that I got from that and what really worked for us when we were still playing, and I'm trying to implement it at a younger age. I think we've got to give these boys a taste of what professional water polo is like and prepare them for that. A lot of these guys end up going to the States and to Europe, and we want more of our athletes overseas. That's how we're going to uplift our program. I don't need to tell you that being isolated in Africa is one of our biggest challenges. So creating the mindset that the borders are open, and if you work hard enough, you can go overseas, is a message that I really give to the boys, and with that I've got to prepare them for that. So it's proper programs, proper conditioning. We're in the gym, we're doing proper periodization of all the programs, and trying to peak at the right times. With starting at a new school, you're always going to have a couple of guys that are not used to that kind of mindset and the expectations, so we had a bit of a drop off last year, but I think the culture is growing. To have 70 kids at pre-season across all age groups for me is extremely positive. And even with the establishment of the Water Warriors a club, a bit of a combination between my old club up in Joburg and the Clifton Old Boys. It's been really fantastic, and 90% of them are schoolboys playing. I'm jumping in on occasion for a few minutes. We've got Todd Howard as a Springbok player, Mitch Slade is a young Springbok. It's so nice to get those guys back in, and I think it's something that KZN desperately needs. They need that club structure to get back up, like they have in the Western Cape, like they have up in Gauteng. So there's something for the boys after school. Again, another challenge of South African water polo is that what's the opportunity once you matriculate, once you finish, and every single province needs a club structure, and that's a big push that I'm trying to re-establish in this facility. That you want to play water polo, bring your team, come on down, and we'll get going.
Amazing. You're doing such great work. It's so good to see. I think KZN has always had amazing talent, but I think your fresh energy, it's quite obvious that you're having a huge impact. So, kudos to you, and we look forward to seeing how Clifton goes this year. What is, when you say, success 2026 for Clifton, have you got some key tournaments in mind?
Yeah, so we're desperate to be competitive with the top 4 teams. I think last year having a very young team, I think we performed quite well. So we've got to start closing the gap on those big Western Cape schools and the top your traditional Gauteng schools, and that's the aim. So to get to the playoff games, get the guys playing under pressure. Like I said to you earlier, playing time is invaluable, but playing under pressure in those big moments, you have to earn those opportunities to play a quarterfinal, a semi. You've got to learn to win those, and unfortunately that takes some time as well. And that's what I want these boys exposed to. There's a lot of talent in KZN, and these boys have to get that opportunity to play those big matches, and that's the goal. Every tournament is get to the playoffs, and then let's see how hard we've worked, and do we deserve to get into the gold medal match.
Yeah, I think that's a key one for the viewers. There is the patience that you need. Programs take 3-4 years to really build, so it's a long burn, and parents, coaches need patience, players need to understand, and it seems like you're doing great work, buddy. So I'm absolutely convinced Clifton are going to be right up there. Watch out for Clifton Water Polo this year. Well, this is super exciting. We've got some international talent, both coaching and playing talent in Durban. We've got Rahiti White from Hamilton Boys College. How's it feel to be in South Africa playing water polo?
Fantastic. The people of South Africa so far have been really hospitable. We've been lucky enough to be hosted here at Clifton. The facilities are so, again, wonderful, and Pierre's taken really good care of us. It's been nice to make that connection again and see him back over here in his natural environment that he spoke so fondly about while he was over in New Zealand with us. So yeah, it's awesome to be here.
Brilliant. So good to see the quality of your players. I was watching for a bit and I was really impressed with. So what's big for you guys in 2026? What would success look like?
Look, for most successful teams, it's a national title. We haven't won a national title in New Zealand since 2021, so we've got a really strong levers group this coming season. So we're hoping to go all the way and hope that our preparation here in South Africa is going to help us to do that. It's been fantastic so far playing different types of teams, and not only that, but playing quite a different style of water polo. Certainly a bit more physical over here, and we've got some young guys as well who are really enjoying that physical challenge. Yeah.
Nice one. I was going to ask my next question. What's the style difference that you see? What is the South African style? How does it differ to the New Zealand style?
It's quite funny. Our boys back home are thought of as being quite a big team, but we're a tall team. A lot of the boys that we're playing over here are tall and they're broad and they're really strong, and they can move some of our boys around like they're little babies. So. Certainly I think the emphasis for us is on really trying to nail our technical movements, trying to make sure that if there's a physical mismatch, we can match it on a technical level to try and minimise that. And then because there's a lot of really strong centres here, one of the really interesting things for me is that a lot of teams play zone. which is quite different for us because there's not actually as many strong centres in New Zealand. So, we play against a lot of press normally. So it's been quite nice having that tactical challenge as well. Teams are playing like a Western Australia, I would say like a W zone with 2 centre backs, or they're playing a top 3-man zone or a 5-man zone, or on the 4-5 side, and so it's been really nice to have lots of different tactical challenges with obviously the different strengths of the teams that we're playing.
Nice one. And in New Zealand, how's the schools water polo set up there? Really organised? What's the state of the game?
It's strong. I'd say certainly on the boys' side, it's quite competitive in the top 6, I would say. There's a little bit of a gap after that, but those top 6, the quality is very, very high. And so, the challenge for us is that the boys that we play, we've played all the way through, from junior level. Every year you play them both at school level and at club. So again, the real benefit for us in being here is in playing lots of different opposition, seeing different guys, different goalkeepers. We had, Pierre's got some fantastic goalkeepers at Clifton, so we had them join in for our shooting session yesterday, and just having different goalkeepers who stylistically are a little bit different, have different strengths, different weaknesses. It's been awesome.
Nice one. And Rohidi, last question. Do you have any insights on the ladies' game in New Zealand? This is obviously an audience of a lot of schoolgirls watch this show.
The school girls water polo, I would say, is not necessarily as competitive, but the quality right at the top is very, very high. So we've got a couple of private schools who kind of lead the charge there in St Cuthbert's College and Diocesan School for Girls, which are both based in Auckland. Diocesan, they've had the benefit of having Angie Winstanley-Smith, who's our women's team coach. There as a staff member, and they've had really strong coaching, consistent coaching over the years. The same with St Cuthbert's College, and then there's a number of girls' schools as well who do go kind of up and down, particularly the teams from the North Shore in Auckland, your Rangitoto College, Westlake Girls, Barrett, and there is actually, now that I think about it, quite a bit of depth there, so it's a bit unfair of me to say that there isn't, but obviously the women's side, they're doing really well at the moment, and so I think aspirationally a lot of the younger girls can see that, and there's a pathway for them to move on up. Our women's side are very heavily influenced, well, not influenced, but they're based internationally. They're a very international team. So there's a lot of players that are playing in Europe, and I know that we've had quite a concerted push to get as many of our ladies over to the States to play over in the States as possible, playing collegiate water polo, and then hopefully after that going over to a Spain, or there's a lot of girls playing in Berlin at the moment, and Italy, all those sorts of really awesome opportunities.
Oh, wonderful. Rohiti, it's been great to have you here. Water polo is a small community, but we're a strong community, so wonderful to have the brotherhood over here, and I hope you have a great trip in South Africa.
Thank you very much.
So we've got Nathan Jacob. Nathan's been on the TV show before. Nathan, great to have you at the Elevate camp.
Oh, good to be back.
Nice one. Tell us about, let's talk about Westville Polo first. So you're a coach there, you went to school there, you're a proud alumni. Tell us about how's Westville?
Yeah, it's looking good. We've got a lot of good young players coming through. Some new coaches, young coaches, myself, Todd Howard, Matt Stringer, 14A, 15A first team coach. So yeah, it's really exciting stuff.
Nice one. And that's a good coaching lineup.
Yeah.
And what's the focus this year? What are your main tournaments that you're going to be hitting up? What are the big derbies locally?
I think us in Northwood is becoming quite a big thing. But yeah, looking forward. First team St Andrews, Kes, everyone knows about those. But the younger age groups, under 15s go to Parktown, under 40s go to Jeppy. Yeah, and at the end of the year we've got our top 10, KZN top 10, which is always big for us. So yeah, looking forward to those.
Nice one. And Tommy, you were mentioning with some of the club polo that's happening, some nice derbies developing between is it Glenwood and Clifton?
QP and Clifton All Boys.
QP and Clifton All Boys. Tell us about that little rivalry.
Yeah, it's cool. The men's first of league is up and running again, and yeah, we've kind of started a little rivalry. We were in the final last year, unfortunately lost, but yeah, hopefully this year QP can win the league.
Nice. QP and the famous QP Geezers also honourable mentions in KZN water polo. Great to see the league up and running again. It's been many years we've been needing the KZN leagues to get up. And how does it feel to have that going?
So good. I mean, like all the polo players here say, the highlight of the week is Wednesday nights when we play league. So it's good to have that again, and it's going to do so much good for KZN water polo.
Excellent. Then let's talk about you personally. You've got obviously a great performance in the Nordic League classification stage. Now we've got one step up into the group stages. You're going to Tenerife in March. How does that feel? How are you feeling personally?
Yeah, so excited. Obviously, it's a bit of a step up, so a bigger challenge. But yeah, I'm just looking so forward to it. Another chance to gain some experience, some lessons. So yeah, very keen for that.
Excellent. Last question. The penalty shootouts in Lisbon. Hectic drama. We managed to win both of them. Tell us about, have you learned from those? Do you feel like you're a more complete player? Is your confidence influenced by those?
Yeah, definitely. I think penalties now, so much confidence going into those. I think it's going to help me a lot. But yeah, so keen to see us win in Lisbon.
Nice. And you and Jack Woodburn, our other goalkeeper, nice kind of synergy between you guys.
Yeah, definitely.
Getting into people's heads rent-free.
Yeah, goalkeeper union.
Yeah. And how does that work between two goalkeepers, sharing the cage? There's obviously some partnerships that really gel. How does it feel?
Yeah, I think it's just, you concede like 2 penalties in a row, your head's kind of gone. It's nice to go sit out, watch, reset your head, and then come back in. So yeah, I think it worked really well. I mean, Jack Woodburn played really well as well. A lot of good penalty saves from him too. So
excellent. Well, we're looking forward to seeing you in March in Tenerife, if not before. Great to have you at the camp.
Thank you. Good to be here.
So great to be down in KZN again, and really good to see all those coaches who are determined that their teams are going to be a great water polo team in this year. So well done to all of them, and great to be featuring KZN Water Polo on the Elevate Water Polo Show on 216. We'll be back after a short break. So welcome back to the Elevate Water Polo Show on 216, brought to you by SuperSport Schools. We were so privileged to have our friends at Buper, the Barcelona International Water Polo Academy, send some of their top coaches down to South Africa. And we took them around the country. We went to Joburg, we went to Durban, we went to Gqeberha, and we went to Cape Town. And these coaches were just fantastic about showing all our South African players all the technical fundamentals and fine-tuning their games to be really great water polo players based off these really solid technical fundamentals. So we took them around the country. We hope everyone who took part learned a lot and really enjoyed the camps. And let's have a look at some of that footage. Okay, David, Joburg, Durban camps. How's it been here coaching in South Africa?
Oh, it's been great. We started in Joburg and now we're finishing up in Durban. Great experience. The kids, super respectful, lot of talent, lots of kids. And I'm really happy with what I've seen. I've seen progression within the same day with a lot of kids, and that's really promising for this country. So really happy so far with the experience and with what I've seen.
Excellent. And anything in particular that you think we are missing that you can see that's obvious that we need to work on?
Well, I think that's we tend to worry about winning. And before winning, we need to know how to move in the water and how to do the movements right. And probably coaches are worried about winning and they're sacrificing practice time on individual stuff, on fundamentals, and they're using that time on tactics or on ways that they can win the game. And in the short run, yes, they're going to win, but in the long run, the ones that work on what it really matters at the end of the day are going to benefit in the older age groups. Yeah.
Very nice, thank you. And the facilities, how have the facilities been for you?
Wow, incredible. Like, look at this. This is a 33-meter pool, as we say, water polo pool. In Joburg, it was the same. In Spain, I've just seen couple 33-meter pools. All of them are 50 or 25, and this is just a school. And there is a lot of schools that have swimming pools like this one. So facilities are great, yeah.
Nice. And from a general perspective, are you enjoying your trip to South Africa?
Yeah, it's now this time of the year, which is summer here, really nice weather. Like today is holding up, the sun is not too hot and really nice, yeah.
Excellent. Well, great to have you and thank you so much for your time.
Thank you guys so much.
back at the Elevate Buper camp here at Durban Girls College. We've got Azaru. Aza, welcome. How are you enjoying the camp?
Yeah, it's going well. It's good to be back in the water.
Nice one. Congratulations on your IPT performance. How does that feel?
Yeah, it's amazing. It's our first gold medal. I have a whole lot of silver medals at home, but it's good to get our first one back.
Excellent. Great game and exciting finish.
Yeah, it's very exciting.
Yeah. Penalty shootout?
Yeah, big save. Third penalty.
Getting good at that.
Yeah, very good.
Awesome. And tell us about Clifton. How's the program looking? What are your kind of goals for this year?
So we just started our training this week, Monday. We've been swimming a lot with our tracksuit pants. A few of my goals, I do want to make KZN under 19s at the end of the year and possibly make like a team of the tournament or something like that.
Very nice. And reflecting back on last year, the Buper Summer Cup, you guys winning the tournament and you played a pivotal role in that.
Yeah.
How did that feel, having reflected on it for a few months?
Yeah, it was amazing. I learned so much, especially before going to the camp, before we actually played the tournament. I learned so much. I think it helped me with my school water polo.
And tell us, for maybe some of the younger viewers out there, like what excites you about water polo?
I love those penalty saves. I love them. It just gives me that feeling. Yeah.
Nice one. Well, you're very good at it. So great to have you at the camp. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
So we're here at the Durban Buper and Elevate camp. We're here with Kyla Hall. How are you enjoying the camp, Kyla?
It's really fun. I learned so much and I made so many new friends.
Awesome. And you're at Kingsmead?
Yes.
Awesome. How was your season last year?
It was really good. I only started when we went to go play at St. Anne's, which was really fun, and I really love our team. It was really sad to see all the matrics go, but we have all the grade 9s coming up, so I'm really excited to play with my grade.
Brilliant. How was it playing with Lucy Davis?
It was very intimidating. She's so good and she's always giving me advice. At the same time, it's also really nice to connect with older girls and like hear how their experiences are karting or South Africa. So she really inspires me to try and push to do really good things in water polo.
Awesome. And how was your IPT experience?
It was really fun. I really love my team. We were so close in the semis and we lost by 1, which was really sad. But I really enjoyed my team because we really bonded and it was so nice to spend all that time with them.
Awesome. And Kyla comes from a water polo family. Grandpa Mike, very, very involved. Uncle Nick, very good friend of mine. Mom, Tana, a great water polo player. Is it in the family? Is it in the blood?
Yeah, I think so. I think I get all my good water polo genes from my parents and my grandpa.
Awesome, that's brilliant. And does it make you proud knowing that your mom was also a great water polo player?
Yes, it does. I'm very proud to be her daughter and I just want to work as hard as I can to impress them.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us. Hope you enjoy the rest of the camp.
Oh, well, thank you.
Thanks. So you can see how much fun everyone had being coached by Coach David and Coach Gabo as we moved around the country, and I really hope some of their real knowledge and expertise that the Buper coaches have stayed with us here in South Africa, and we look forward to seeing how you improve as a player having had that opportunity to go to those camps. We'll be back after a short break. Welcome back to the final segment of episode 14. Great to have traveled around the country over the last few weeks. We've featured some of the best of Gauteng, some of those players who were in studio last week. We went to KZN and talked to some of those coaches. We had some great camps in KZN and in Cape Town as well. So really excited that we feel like we've got a good pulse of the nation in terms of water polo and schools water polo. We're going to cut across to Delane now to get some perspective from specifically the Eastern Cape. We really want to know what's going to be happening over the next few weeks. We've got some big tournaments coming down to that part of the world, and we're going to go to Delane. She's going to give us a brief intro on what we can look forward to. So I'm here with Delane Mentrua. Great to have you back on our doorstep here in Cape Town. We're going to be asking Delane a little bit about NMB. Tell us firstly about IPT, and I've seen all the results and I've seen the improvement that's made by NMB. How does that feel? You feel like there's improvement? Tell us about where you guys are.
Yeah, so overall there's definitely improvement. We had really good results come through from the analysis that was done. so that teams and players and parents could see the growth over the last 3 years. Some of us didn't get the results we wanted, so it was a little bit tough, but the overall picture of NMB growing, amongst these big provinces is really great, and it's a good, positive, almost benchmark for the future. We know what we can do and what we're capable of and where we are, and now we can just go, it can only get better from here. Yeah.
Nice. And I feel like we're having worked with some of the NEB coaches and providing them with some data and analysis of the games. I feel like the confidence has grown in the coaches. Is that?
Absolutely. I mean, having Elevate part of the NMB, sort of system leading up to IPT was so beneficial. I mean, we had weekly training programs that you could follow. It was almost segmented towards the build up to IPTs, which was really great. You could see the confidence in the younger coaches. They had tools to help them. I mean, yes, they have the knowledge, but it's always nice to have that support, and they could lean on the Elevate crew. I mean, them coming up to PE and Grahamstown and running the camps just before IPT was fantastic. Having the stats during the tournament, so going back post-match, you could go and see, what was my extra man conversion? Where am I lacking in the game? It was really nice to have those tools at your disposal.
Awesome. And then, as a coach, I totally agree with you. Sometimes we underestimate the validation that you need.
Absolutely.
Because sometimes it can be a little bit of in your echo chamber. And jumping forward to coming here with the Buper coaches in South Africa,
yes.
How was the experience with the Buper PE camp?
Dunks, it was absolutely, it was so good to have them down in PE for a change. I know that, Gabor, the Spanish coach, he absolutely loved it. It was the heat in PE was unreal, but we'd rather have the heat than the wind. So, lovely city, lovely place, and then bringing in the athletes that are hungry for that sort of knowledge. We saw the junior groups, so the junior girls, junior boys, they came in so positive, especially the little girls, really hungry to learn, really wanting to work. The boys learned some new things, and you can see them put it into play in the last day. I think we really did need that in PE, and we need more of it, but the buy-in also needs to be there. Players need to understand that as much as coaches need that help, and like you said, that validation or that extra little bit of knowledge, I'm learning so much from having them here, and it's my second time with them, and I've been to Spain, but every single time I learn more, but because I want to. So it's the same for the players down there. We're a tiny little province, but we need the big help from somewhere else, and sometimes they just need to be open to receive it. So a highlight for us was the senior girls. I mean, Gabor loved working with them. They were also just so open to learning, wanting to grow their game, and you could see it, and they put it into play. I mean, we had Nicola McLeod there, one of the best, senior women's players in South Africa, working with Gabor, and those girls were just feeding off it, give me more, and you could see how much they grew in those 2 days.
Amazing, and obviously great facilities at Grey. The Spanish coaches, mentioned how nice it was to having the big pool facilities,
yes.
Not rush for space, etc. How's the Grey program going from your perspective?
Rich Snelling is doing such a good job. We loved using their pool, such a great facility. Like I said, the wind played part, so we could have everything up, and they were so accommodating from the ground staff to the security, it was lovely. I mean, like we said, we weren't short for space for anything, but the Grey program in itself, we had quite a few Grey players there, so you can see they are also hungry to grow, hungry to learn. It's a young crew, young team, but I think with all of these little things that they're doing to grow their program, I mean, that was just the start of I think they had pre-season before that, joined the Elevate Buper camp, and then straight back into pre-season before school opens. So I can't wait to see what happens with that Grey High School program.
Amazing, and then obviously exciting few weeks ahead in the EC, going
Yes.
to Makanda, to Kingswood for the Brian Baker for the
Yes.
ladies, and obviously the Sachs Shield at St Andrews in Grahamstown in Makanda.
Yes.
That's a big one on the calendar.
Yeah, so I mean, at the camps, this one and the PE one, the kids kept saying, Brian Baker in so many days. I spoke to a few coaches, Meg Selena up in Joburg, and she said, I'll see you at Brian Baker. And I was like, I won't see you there. But like I said, the excitement, the build-up, all of these kids are working and doing these camps and their pre-season camps at school because they are building up and working towards these two big tournaments. And then post that, up in Joburg, we've got St. Peter's after that. So lots coming up just in this month of January. And a lot of the schoolboys are going to head back to PE for the second team boys tournament, the largest of its kind up at Pearson, the Grey Under 15 tournament at Grey, all in January, which is it's jam-packed.
Amazing. So things are happening in the EC. Watch out for all those schools doing great work, and as Delane says, everyone's bought in and trying to make water polo a real part of our school sports.
So great to hear from Delane, and we've got a lot to look forward to in the Eastern Cape with some big tournaments coming up over the next few weeks. Really excited to have our host in the Eastern Cape, have all those teams coming in from around the country to come and compete down there. I think let's bring in our other partner in crime as well. Let's speak to Luwazi Madi and hear what he's got to say. He's got the Bishops tournament, which he's hosting this coming weekend. Let's hear what the man's got to say.
Hi everyone. This upcoming weekend we have the Bishops Diocesan College annual water polo tournament. This is the first competition that's going to be kick-starting the new year for officially for 2026. So really looking forward to seeing that. We've got the traditional schools coming to participate from the Western Cape. You have Bishops, you have Sachs, you have Redham, you've got Rondebosch, you've got Wynberg, and of course you've got Paul Roos as well in that mix. And what's really exciting about it as well is a new team will be coming into the fold. So a team from New Zealand called Hamiltons will be coming to participate in that competition, which will be really great for some of these schools to really see and feel what New Zealand water polo is all about. And then of course finally to sum it up, a Bishop's second team will also be participating in that, and I'm sure they'll be licking at their lips at the opportunity to participate against some really strong dominant schools. Looking forward to it. See you guys there. My Odin School of the Week goes to Paul Roos for kickstarting the water polo season for 2026. This past weekend, they just had their annual pre-season water polo tournament where we saw a lot of the Cape schools, and we also saw St. Andrew's team participate in that. So thank you, Paul Roos, for hosting that tournament and kickstarting our season.
I am so excited about this week's momentum moment, tying in with the Elevate Buper camps all around the country. This one goes to Zoe Khadebe. She has been to 3 of the Elevate camps, starting in Johannesburg, heading down to Durban, and then ending in Cape Town today. This junior little player with so much heart, so much potential, really deserves this, because jeepers, starting your January with 3 Buper camps, Elevate camps behind your name, that is an accolade. Well done to Zoe, well done to her parents who have taken her around the country to get the training she needs for the year ahead. We can't wait to watch you put everything you've learned into play. Well done, Zoe.
So that brings us to the end of episode 14. Thanks for joining us again on this Wednesday evening for the Elevate Water Polo Show on 216. We've got so much more to look forward to. The season is really hotting up this coming week. We've got some big tournaments coming up, and we'll have it all for you next week when we see you again.